So finally, after 12 years of getting tattoos, I finally got a tattoo for myself. So I have probably about 7 tattoos, and they're all like, I got them for special reasons, I got them for special people, they kind of all honor somebody else, and I've always left my right arm completely blank because I figured like that's mine for the day that I want my own tattoo, and I just never knew what I wanted because I can't just get a tattoo for no reason. That's just like, I don't know, I just can't do it. Some people can, there's nothing wrong with that, I just can't. So I ended up finally knocking it off my bucket list and getting a tattoo for myself. So instead of going through all my other tattoos and being like, I got this for this and this and this, which are interesting stories, but I'm gonna tell you about my tattoo that I just got this weekend, and I guess I should start with showing you, right? Okay, so this is it. Now, I don't know, in the simplest of terms, as you can see, it's a butterfly, right? Now, a butterfly is, society kind of says butterflies are for transformation, and like I guess that's what that means in a spiritual kind of sense, which is how I also interpret it. I mean, how else can you? I mean, you start with a little fucking thing and it goes to this like caterpillar-y thing, and then boom, you transform into this butterfly and it's so beautiful and shit. Okay, so that's like the core foundation of why I got this tattoo. Now, it kind of ties into something that happened after my mom died. I was talking to somebody who is in the spiritual realm, and she was like, you know, your mom is sending you butterflies. So I'm telling you, when I heard this, I was like, you're a Looney Tune. And but I would be at work one day and like had this giant ass butterfly just sit on my windowsill. Completely weird and random, but one of those things where I wouldn't like go and tell people about. And then one day I was in my car and just driving, stopped at a light, a butterfly flew into my car window and it sat right on my steering wheel, and I was like, okay, and then it flew back out. And I had these weird moments with butterflies, and I can only think of my mom sometimes when I think of a butterfly. And so yeah, it really does kind of tie into my feelings with my mom, and it kind of feels like it was something just between me and her, even though she wasn't alive when she gave me butterflies. But more importantly, and more, the overarching theme of this tattoo is transformation. And so if you look in close, I got the body of a skeleton, right? And both of these skulls are me. Okay, you got myself looking at myself. This skull here has a flower on its head because it's kind of like back in the day, years ago, when I didn't know who the fuck I was and people were telling me I had to be a certain way and I had to, you know, pretty much conform to being what society considers female. It just didn't feel right. And you know, I would look in the mirror and be like wearing this dress or doing my hair a type of way, and it's like I was looking at myself, and the reflection of this skull of myself with this bow, with this hair, with this dress was not me. And I would see it and it wasn't me, like, and it just didn't feel right. And it was like dressing in drag is what it was, and it was very just not, I never knew why. And then the body of the butterfly here is a pen, and it's because through writing and through my books that I've published, go to wedgeaholics.com and read them. So over the last 12 years of writing, and thinking that when I started writing that no one was ever gonna read these like journals, and they're very private, very fucking private, locked in a trunk, and I never wanted anyone to ever read them. And the day that I decided that I was gonna put my writings out there, for whoever the fuck wants to see it, whenever they want to see it, it really had to do with myself, and kind of it's a therapeutic sort of thing. And if you go to wedgeaholics.com and you read the author's note, that's pretty much how I started the journey of creating my website and putting out my books. And at that time, when I realized that I could actually look at my books and type up what I was reading, no matter how like deep and how embarrassing I thought it might have been, it wasn't. And it was a time where I realized what I actually had inside of me, and it was this courage and this fuel and this like burning, like I don't give a fuck what anyone says, and I'm gonna do it. And that was the moment that I realized, and now I know I will never be without. And that's my handwriting. And so yeah, once I realized who I was, my entire self, and how writing propelled that, I realized I could never be alone. And I realized that everything that love and everything about anything is inside of me. And that's why I got this ginormous tattoo that people will look at and be like, what the fuck, why'd you get that, what? And that's the reason I got it. That's the story behind it. I'm not a big fan of tattoos with color, just for me. I don't really have, most of my tattoos are black and white, but this, I wanted to keep the beauty of the colors, like warm greens and blues and yellows, just because I'm not a big fan of color, but I wanted to keep the beauty and the essence of what a butterfly actually is, which is a beautiful creature after it's an ugly fuck. So that's the story of my personal very first tattoo, and I love it. And I love my tattoo guy, and he's like thebomb.com, and I had a great weekend. And if you have any good tattoo stories, I mean, I'd love to hear them. I just go on YouTube and listen to people's fucking shit, but you know, tattoos for me are a very personal thing, and pain is love, love is pain, and that's kind of how I see it. And I'm really pumped about this one, and that's my word. Oh, happy President's Day, and happy President's Day to the people that work as well. And that's all I gotta say. We're done.